Backstage with Mothership on Solid Rock Radio begins now. Hear the best in new music, artist interviews, stories from the road, and more. You are now backstage, and here's your host, Mothership.
Hey everybody, I hope y'all had a great week. My guest is a longtime friend, John Schlitt of Petra. I know you're going to love this one.
Hey John, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Cindy. It's great to see you, kiddo. Been too long.
Sure has.
You know what? I'm actually doing pretty good, considering circumstances and all that. With the record coming out February 28th officially, and the whole world dying before our very eyes, it's sort of sitting in limbo. But I've got fantastic people like you who want to know and want to talk about it, and I appreciate that so much. Did a show, believe it or not, in Missouri with Petra. The first one I've done live with them in 4 years. That was pretty cool. That worked out really well. So
how did that feel?
I felt amazing. I've been doing so many other bands, singing other material. I hadn't sang a Petra tune in a while, so I had to go back and refresh and make sure I knew the stuff and sort of get my brain back into Petra mode. And it took a while. Even the shows, I think I was tense. So I don't feel like I delivered my peak, but the crowd loved it and the band played great. And it was cool. It's one of those things where you got to go through that first time to get the rust off, and then you're feeling pretty good. I feel pretty good right now.
I'm sure the crowd was pretty forgiving. I mean, just to get a chance to see Petra.
But I don't want forgiving. I don't ever want forgiving.
I know. Away. Well, I know you blew them away. You're just saying. Did you have cheat sheets?
No, I did not. I didn't have to use my iPad or anything. I wanted to make sure I had total capacity to react with the crowd. When you have your laptop in front of you, it's okay, but it just isn't the same thing.
But yeah, I'm sure that was a great feeling, though, to get out there in front of everybody again.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it was a music hall, about 600 seats. It was a nice, small little place in the middle of nowhere. We had 2 shows, and the first one, believe it or not, was almost sold out. And the second one, like 200, 300 people. They came in from like 20 different states, and I knew for a fact they were all major Petra fans. So I walked on stage at the first show and says, guys, we're going to do a bunch of Petra stuff. And I know every one of you probably knows every one of them, because I know tonight we are playing the family. And man, that's all I had to say. And it was cool.
Yeah. So everybody sang along.
Or just about. I mean, if I'd have forgotten the words, they could probably sing it for me. So
they'd taken care of it for you. Yeah.
And there have been times when I did that. Yes.
Now, I think I know the answer to this, but what's your favorite Petra song to sing?
Okay. Well, probably Beyond Belief.
I knew it.
Yeah, but my favorite song is probably No Doubt.
Okay.
It's a beautiful song. But now we're doing different stuff that I haven't done in years. I like Fool's Gold and Counsel the Holy. Fired Up, I hate that song. I hate it. It's the hardest song for me to sing of any bands that I'm with right now. It just takes me to the limit in every way. So I still haven't got that one down yet. I mean, as far as comfortable.
Right.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen Petra. I believe it was in the 80s.
Oh, come on.
Now I've seen you. Y'all stopped about the time I started going to concerts. So, I saw you at the Christian Booksellers Convention when you premiered This Means War, one of my all-time favorite albums. You were like Texas?
That's in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what happened? Man, we walked off the stage and Bob looked at me and said, well, nothing like ruining a career in one evening, because the PA was really weird for us. It was the Gaithers PA.
You blew it away.
It was totally wrong for us. And on stage it sounded terrible. And Bob goes, well, I think we may have just ruined our career before it ever got started. But then we went to the signing and people were nuts. It was
I was one of those nuts.
You were.
I was there.
This Means War was amazing because of the material, because of how amazing Bob's writing is and was. The Petra material isn't as dated as a lot of stuff, even though that was done back in 87. If you listen to it now, the sounds are a little dated, but the songs are there, the performances are there.
Well, it holds up, that's for sure.
Well, thank you. I won't argue with it all. All I did was sing it. And the writing, the producing, the performance of the musicians, I was just real blessed to be able to sing it. So I totally agree with you. It holds up even now. It's still listenable and still actually enjoyable, especially if you're in the mood for that message. And a lot of people need to be.
That's true. I just love that album. I think I wore that cassette out 2 or 3 times.
Well, if nothing else, just the cover was amazing.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It was absolutely. If it was up to me, I think every Petra record would be called "This Means War One," "This Means War Two," "This Means." I mean, it was so appropriate for what we do.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that's probably my favorite. I will have to see you guys do one of your little things because it's just been too long. Well, one of your little things, one of your big things.
Oh, your little things.
But I've seen you by yourself. I just haven't seen Petra in forever. So we gotta change that. I don't think I need to list all the awards and all the accolades of Petra and you individually. I want to talk about this new album that's kind of hanging out there in the atmosphere
right now, but I'm loving every bit of it. Yes.
Yeah. Now, I was real excited when I started hearing some of the material because it's very rock and very up my alley. Mm-hmm. And I just really enjoyed Let Go as a single. Right?
Well, you know what? If you're heavy metal, this probably will bore you. If you're a rock and roller, this record is going to tickle your innards well. I never tried to be heavy metal. I appreciate them. I mean, I'm a Striper fan, but I'm more of a melodic rocker. Mm-hmm. And if you like that kind of music, you're going to love this record. And I knew that it would go right over the heads of Christian rock radio today, and that's okay. It didn't even get a nudge. And well, for one thing, I'm not cool to them now, and it's all right. But we put it out there anyway, just to see if there's any interest at all. And I think maybe a few people listen to it. That's okay. This record is not for the industry. It's for people that want to hear good Christian rock. And there's plenty out there that don't listen to Christian radio. Christian radio for me right now is pretty much it's out of my reach. Not by choice, but by politics.
Music politics.
Yeah, music politics. So I'm cool with that. I've been there, done it. I've had my time in the sun, and now I'm creating my next universe. And I'm just the kind of music I think there are people out there that still want to hear it. And the kind I love. Now, I never wanted to be self-gratifying. I've never wanted to do something that I'm going to do because I want to hear it. That's never been my focus because it's selfish. But I believe what I did with this record especially, it's what the folks that want to hear what I do would have expected. It's the style they'd expect. And the subject matter was right down my alley. It had to be done.
Backstage with Mothership returns after this. This hour is being made possible by our business ministry partner, Anchor Bolt Express, the place for construction fasteners and a supporter of Christian music and this station. On the web at anchorboltexpress.com. You're listening to Backstage with Mothership on Solid Rock Radio.
Tell us about the theme of this album and what people are to expect on the album.
Well, the theme's very simple. It's the title, Go. And what I mean by that is we in the body of Christ need to understand that church is very important. But it's not a hiding haven. It's a boot camp. I'm afraid, especially here in this country, we have spent too much time using it as a getaway or a hideaway or a comfort zone. And we've forgotten the fact that it's a boot camp to train us for what is really the call that Christ asks us to do. The commission is go tell people about me. In other words, go. Open the doors. Go. Have courage. Understand that many themes of the record are maybe you don't feel like you have that strength. Yes, do it. Do it. Stop letting the world tell you no. Stop feeling insecure. Stop being beat up by the tools of the enemy. I guess I haven't ever said it this way, but it's sort of like a call to don't listen to the tools of the enemy, whatever they are, especially peer pressure. It's really, and peer pressure can be from your friends, it can be from the world itself, and we need to get out there and start making a difference in the name of Christ. But now I hate to break it to the church, but a lot of the kids of the church are more in the world than they are in the church. So we're still trying to reach them too. The reality is the enemy knows how to be a temptation with everything, with music, with video, with all that. And instead of just giving it to them and say, oh, it's evil. No, it's not. There's nothing that has been created that's evil, because the enemy can't create.
Amen.
He can just distort. We just have to understand that and walk forward and go and start making a difference. And for all the rockers out there, Christian rockers that are getting beat up, welcome to my world. Probably won't change, but tell you what, if God's put that in your heart, you go for it. You don't worry about the doubting Thomases here. You know, they got their little comfort zones and all that. If God is putting on your heart that you're supposed to reach people through your music, then do it. And if you're doing it sincerely, even if it's wrong, I believe that when you face the Lord, he's going to go, good job. You sort of blew it here, but good job, because I saw your heart.
Mm-hmm. What other changes have you seen in the industry? Because you have been in the industry since the beginning of the Christian rock industry. So, and you're not going anywhere either.
No,
we
ma'am.
won't let you go.
Oh, thank you. No, actually, as long as God allows me to sing, I'm
Amen.
going to. And it's been amazing. Music is a powerful tool, absolutely powerful tool. It hasn't decreased. Only thing about music right now is I think probably as far as changing in the music world, or the Christian music world, is that it really has, it's almost more geared to edification of the body rather than the evangelism of the world. And that's a shame to me. And I'm not saying that there aren't bands out there trying to do it. I'm just saying the support of the church has been totally lost to anyone that's reaching out to the unsaved. To me, that's almost sort of indicative of the church itself. We're so busy trying to encourage and strengthen the body that we've lost the focus of bringing more into the body. And that sort of goes with the music too. It's important to them for edification, you know, all the praise and worship. That's what's in now. And it's beautiful stuff. I mean, it's some great talent. It's all more mellow, traditional, don't break any molds. And so you have the folks that are out there looking like the world. Well, I've heard that for so long. I mean, us rockers have been totally sort of left in left field. And at one time, it was a very major part of Christian music because we were really reaching a lot of people. So the industry was supporting it major, and part of it's because it was selling a lot of records. You know, they were making a lot of money. Well, for the same reason, now they're doing praise and worship because they're making a lot of money. Christian rock is not. It's taboo again. And I won't say that it's any one purpose, but it's almost like a cyclic thing, unless you break through the barrier into the secular world. And you know the bands that are doing that, and God bless them. I'm happy for them. Skillet always comes to my mind because John's a fantastic dude. And there's others. And doing it without compromise, as long as the message is there. The Newsboys, I mean, they're all over the place with video now and movies and all that. And they've sort of gone from rock to pop. And they're wise boys, and they know what they're doing, but they have that evangelistic reach that's reaching into the world a little bit more. And that's one of the reasons they're very successful. So I will say to us rockers, I'm sorry you're going through the battle. I totally know what it's like. I was there, but I have to say, in my case, I joined Petra, which at the time was the biggest rock band, Christian rock band in the world. So I never had to really suffer quite as much as some of the bands that are out there beating the bushes, doing their best, really not feeling like there's a lot of support in their family. And you know, if it's what God's put on their heart, they're going to do it as long as they can find. I'm going to do it, Dave Ramsey, beans and rice. As long as they can eat something and the guitars don't break, then go do it.
There you go. It's clear that this is why you wrote a lot of the songs that you wrote for that album. We're going to come back around.
Yes,
and you wrote a lot of those songs, didn't you?
Yeah,
or co-wrote?
I co-wrote every song, and that was the first time that's ever happened to me. And I was very proud of that because, man, the people I co-wrote with were ace. I mean, every song I wrote with, even the unknown writers that I wrote with, there was two of them, they gave me material that was ridiculously good. And so for me to be able to put my little parts in it, you know, a little sort of get it back into what I felt was the way I could deliver it, I was just very proud and humbled because these guys are all A writers, A-class writers, and they allowed me to be part of that. I was very excited about all the material that came together.
Tell us about Not Dead Yet.
I love that song. That was sort of a bonus song. It had a couple of different messages. And one is, I'm not dead yet. Ain't no way. Just because you think I'm not supposed to do it doesn't mean I'm not supposed to do it. But also, it wasn't just about me. It's about us. It's about the Christian, any Christian. If you feel like you've hit your peak and you're over, you're never over. God has plans for you until you get to go to the next level of life. So, for instance, somebody, oh, you're too old for that. You can't do that anymore. Oh, you used to be better. Just don't listen.
Watch me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you think so? Listen to this.
Look, they hadn't heard you sing then, because I tell you hadn't lost anything.
Oh, thanks, Gil. I love talking to you.
Backstage with Mothership returns after this. Check us out on Facebook at I'm with Mothership.
Petra's just one of many irons John has in the fire. He's available to do solo shows or other creative and entertaining shows with some amazing artists. He'll work with venues to find just what they're looking for. Here's the last part of my call with John.
Tell me a little bit about the other projects that you work on, the ones with Jay Sekulow, the two Johns. Tell us a little about those real quick.
Well, the J Band, it's the Jay Sekulow Band. I always just call it the J Band. And that has got to be one of the coolest things I've ever done. It's got John Elfontaine, it's got Mark Townsend, it's got John Lowry, and we got Chris Cook is a name that you don't hear all the time, but one of the best drummers, singers, guitar players. And then you got Jay Sekulow, who is the president's lawyer. Not a bad drummer, not a bad guitar player, and he loves that 70s, 80s music that's right down my forte. We're all Christians, so we want to make sure that as we grab these classics, they fit our theme of life. It is fun. I have a ball with that. John Elfontaine and I go out in the Legends of Rock and Roll. And do that with Kansas and Head East, and then we've got folks that have been part of Journey and Foghat, and it's just fun. That's more of a secular type of thing that I do. But I always play Head East and I play Petra because I'll be honest, the Petra, it doesn't matter where I play. As far as secular, there's always folks out there play Petra. So I'm doing Petra and Head East at this in the same. Serious, and that's always a joy. We've got Billy Smiley and I doing the Unity of Sinners and Saints. We've got an album out that came out about 3 years ago that we're still working on it because it's an unknown, but we're all about halfway done for another one if we can find the financing for it. Yeah, I just want to go out and I want to be available.
Is it wrong that when you said available that I heard I am available in my head?
I'm glad you do that, kid.
My kids used to sing I am a vegetable.
Oh, geez.
Worked for VeggieTales, right?
Oh, yeah. I am a vegetable. That's not bad. I like that.
Okay. There's something for everybody in there that loves rock,
Well,
some great stuff.
Thank you. It's one of those things where don't be satisfied with just enough. Don't. And I'm not trying to drive myself crazy. I'm just totally blessed that I can do what I do even at this age. As long as I can, don't waste time. Don't waste the opportunity because, like I said, music is a powerful tool and it can be used in mighty ways. And really, our commission is to go out and tell the world, and that's what I'm trying to do with the skill he's given me. And not to mention, I forgot one of the most important things that I'm doing right at this moment because the music is almost closed down for me at this moment. It used to be John Schlitt Ministries. Now it's Build It Ministries. I've been working on a project for a lady for the last year and a half, and it's changing her life, and it's really exciting. I started with just trying to repair a deck, and I ended up building a new deck, and which turned into redoing an apartment. It's just one of those things where I don't know how to say no, and it's good because I'm seeing the blessings to her, and it's helping her get back on her feet. That's very cool. So God has really opened up a lot of doors for me, and music is absolutely one of the major, but when music is shut down for me for a while, there's other things I can do.
One of the things that I do on my show is I ask people what their favorite road snacks are. Now, of course, nobody can get on the road right now, but I think I could probably tell you one that I can remember.
Okay.
You love double chocolate covered peanuts.
Bonita told you that. You didn't.
No.
Seriously?
From that Christmas concert, I remembered.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Diet Coke with ice, no stage water.
Well, then I don't need to say, okay, what else? What else? You're right.
No. I forgot what chips you got and what your Subway order was, but I can probably find it. But this was just off the top of my head. I'm not cheating.
You are amazing. Listen, I keep track of you, and you're around so many different bands and people. For you to remember that, I'm very honored. Thank you.
Well, I guess that's why I do what I do, is I do remember silly things like that. But I remember having to try to find those double chocolate covered peanuts at Walmart.
Oh my God. And tomato juice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And dry roasted peanuts. And
So
that
yeah,
that was my
and
big
you're
pull.
a happy man.
I'm a happy man. You get me those, and I can sing all night long.
Yeah, you're the only person I know that has to have Diet Coke on the stage.
Oh, I have to with ice, but you got to understand.
Yeah, that's right. It's got to be that
I found
crunchy
out
ice.
the ice is probably more important than the soda. I need the soda for the fizz, and I need the ice, believe it or not. It's something about it relaxes my throat, and it's totally foreign to what any vocal coach would tell you. For some reason, it's what works for me. And so that's just my cup of tea. I've been doing it for 30 years. So what can I say?
Whatever works, you've got to just do it,
Yeah.
right? All right. Well, I guess we'll have to wrap up. I don't want to keep you all night. I appreciate you calling in and talking with me a little bit.
You just keep on doing what you're doing, okay?
I am going to do that, and I hope to see you out there soon, one of these days.
I would love to. Seriously, I'd love to tour this record. And I'd love to go out with Billy and me and Jason and do our Union of Sinners and Saints storytelling too.
Yeah, I would love to see that too. If you head this way, I'm headed your way.
All right. Well, listen, I will let you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, kiddo.
All right.
Thank you for listening tonight. Stay tuned for more great music all night long. Don't forget to check out my I'm with Mothership page on Facebook and my blog on solidrockradio.org for links to John Schlitt's accounts. The show will be replayed at 4 a.m. Eastern Time and will be added to the Solid Rock Radio website, archive, and SoundCloud soon. I pray you all have a wonderful week, and remember, be kind to one another.